Okay, here's a fun one. I know that I'm constantly telling everybody to get morning sunlight in your eyes to improve daytime. Oh, look, a friend. To improve daytime mood focus and alertness and improve nighttime sleep. And that is true. It was always true, and it will always be true. As soon as you can, get outside, get some sunlight in your eyes. However, it's also critical to get a little bit of sunlight in your eyes in the late afternoon or evening if you can. The morning sunlight is more important for your circadian rhythm, that is your sleep-wake cycles. However, second to that is to get some evening sunlight in your eyes or late afternoon sunlight. Even if you just get a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, stare in the general direction of the sun, right? Sets in the west. Stare in the general direction of the sun. Get some photons, some light energy in your eyes. Why is that useful? Well, after sundown, your retina, the light sensing neural tissue that lines the back of your eye like a pie crust, it becomes very sensitive to, in particular, short wavelength light, like the type that comes from screens of all kinds, phones, TV screens, etc., and from artificial lights. It used to be the case that artificial lights were incandescent bulbs, so they had a full spectrum of short wavelength light all the way out to reds. Remember if you remember, the light bulbs used to feel kind of warm. They used to look warm. Now they look a little harsher. That's because we no longer sell incandescent bulbs, at least not in the US. People mostly rely on fluorescent and LED bulbs, which are much more energy efficient, but they don't have those longer wavelengths. As a consequence, most artificial lighting, screens, TVs, overhead lighting, lamps even, most of them have a lot of the wavelengths of light, the short wavelengths of light, that suppress the hormone melatonin. Melatonin does many different things depending on the tissue and the source, etc. But melatonin secreted from your pineal gland every evening and night is what makes you feel sleepy, what allows you to fall asleep easily, and it does a bunch of positive things for the architecture of your sleep, including increasing the amount of deep sleep and rapid eye movement sleep. So you want melatonin levels high in the evening. Light suppresses melatonin. Short wavelengths of light, in particular the wavelengths of light that come from modern artificial lighting and screens, dramatically suppresses melatonin. But if you get a little bit of sunlight in your eyes in the late afternoon or evening, again, never stare at the sun, never force yourself to look at any light, sunlight or otherwise, that it's so bright that it's painful to look at, blink as needed, but look in the direction of the sun for a couple of minutes, blinking as needed. That lowers the sensitivity of your retina to those shorter wavelengths in a way that makes it less damaging to your melatonin system if you do happen to look at screens. I know most people are looking at screens after sundown. Now, of course, you could wear blue blockers, or even better would be blue-green blockers. Blue and green are in the short wavelength portion of the spectrum. But you could, and should also just dim the lights generally at night,